It's the Luke and Pete Show. I'm Pete Donaldson. I'm joined by Mr. Lukey Moore, and I am gutted, Luke. Apparently the Heimlich manoeuvre is not a thing I've just been saying before we started the show.
Yeah, this is news to me.
Yeah, it just seems to be that it's fallen out of vogue. But the Heimlich manoeuvre was the thing that was supposed to be like saving loads of people. It was supposed to be a thing that like was like the best way to deal with the choking, but apparently not.
So what is the best way now?
I think it's just a sharks are involved.
It's a shark attack.
A shark attack.
You're dead, but you're not choking anymore.
Well, the shark can remove a lot of the blockages by squeezing your thorax very, very tightly. Apparently it's just a short, sharp shock to the back, a hit, bang. But Heimlich out, hitting the back. I don't think it's even called the Heimlich manoeuvre anymore. So maybe it's just, I don't know. It's just, Dr. Heimlich has got a lot to answer for. I don't know where he's gone.
Sound that sure.
No.
And I fully concede that health misinformation being put out there doesn't stop people like Stephen Bartlett. Are you happy that you know enough to be saying this?
Well, now Henry Judah Heimlich, the thoracic surgeon, Thoracic Park, and
welcome
is
to
now
Thoracic Park.
He's
just
been
chests everywhere.
He lived in 96, so he's got to know something about it, hasn't he? He's got to know something. So maybe I'll bring my Heimlich manoeuvre back along with fingering.
Yeah. Why do people keep saying that? That's the thing that people keep saying, isn't it? Oh, it's like a really edgy, funny thing to say. Bring back
fingering.
No, finger. It's like, how do you
I remember having a conversation with somebody when we were talking about this about 15 years ago. So it can't have taken. It must have been a stand-up who did it 15 years ago, and it's finally got to the WhatsApps of the world.
It's always a stand-up, isn't it?
It's always a stand-up that starts it all off, to be honest.
And I was having a conversation yesterday with a couple of people,
right,
about how apparently the way they book live at the Apollo is completely different now, and it's completely shit.
Did you ever have any respect for that programme?
No.
You can always tell when we're going to be talking about a stand-ups all show.
No.
Right.
No, we don't talk about the whole show.
Well, we do sometimes. You get on your little soapbox about not liking stand-ups, and then that's the whole show.
It's not my problem if you don't have the conversational power to move me off that subject. It's on you. You aren't part of this. You can change the subject.
What I need to do is to get a high-pressured hose and get that soapbox nice and lathered up so he slips off it.
Well, what you should ask yourself is, after so many years of friendship, why don't I have the respect of Luke to be able to successfully move off a subject? Why won't he respect me enough to do so?
You don't do that to me. You just tell me to stop. That's the difference.
Sometimes you need to be told.
Stop. Right, fine, okay. Oh, no. When I need to be told to stop is, 1, if I'm playing with matches, 2, if I'm playing with Mercury, 3, it's just stuff like that, dangerous stuff.
I've always been fairly encouraging of your Mercury habit.
Right, yeah. It's just I rub it on my skin to see what happens. I'm a gallium stan. You know me. I like any metal that can damage aluminium. Yeah,
you've been a gallium purist for a long time. That guy who actually kept consuming silver and turned himself blue. That's like you, but with gallium.
It is, yeah. Just cannot stop with the gallium. The gallium galleon is what I call my car, which is where I follow my gallium.
The gallium galleon.
There's a real vogue in computing for not bothering with your normal thermal paste. We talk about thermal paste every now and again on this show.
I'm not allowed to talk about stand-ups, but here we go on thermal paste again.
There was a real vogue recently of people using liquid metal. And basically in like a kind of little sort of protected chamber over the top of a processor to cool it down, and apparently it's very efficient, but it moves around, and if there's a jolt, it sprays all the liquid metal all over. And one of the things that's in the liquid metal for whatever reason is gallium, and gallium is a fucker for aluminium. It's an absolute it will just munch aluminium like until the cows come home.
You can buy gallium on the Amazon.
Yeah, I bought some. I messed around with a can and I lost it. I don't know where it went. It's a good job I didn't have kids back in my gallium days.
There's some here available. Looks like a lovely size of high purity gallium for $14.95 with next day delivery on them. I tell you what a society we've become.
Right.
Where you can pick up some Communal Garden low melting point gallium with next day delivery. If I said that to you, even 20 years ago, if I said that to you when we first met, right, which was about 20 years ago, if I said to you, Pete, in the future, you and I are going to be able to get high quality gallium delivered next day to our homes, I think you'd have been in cloud cuckoo land.
Well, and at that point, I was at the height of my gallium obsession, so I would have been very, very astounded. I mean, you can buy, like Amazon, you can buy all kinds of weird stuff, up to and including poppers, which I once sent to Andy Brassell's house.
Yeah,
but gallium,
weird that he left,
helpfully.
Isn't it? Yeah, his wife's working from home that day.
Why's Andy ordered poppers? That was under COVID rules as well.
I
shouldn't be huffing anything.
No, he shouldn't. I actually know someone. I've got to choose this carefully.
Right.
So I know someone, not that well, but he's a friend of mine. I've known him enough to have a few beers with him over the years, and I know him. If I saw him in the street, it would be hail fellow, well met, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Who worked for quite a sort of serious, secretive government department.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But at the same time, was also
was he
not
a spook?
quite, but kind of in that kind of ballpark.
Right.
And he's also an inveterate pervert,
right.
And he got a load of sexy stuff, toys, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Delivered to his work address by accident.
Right.
I guess it was just default on his Amazon or whatever. The package got checked, and he got fucking fired.
Well, what kind of sexy stuff? Like sort of bits and odds and sods and bits and bobs? I mean, that's an honest mistake, isn't it?
I think butt plug, dildo, that kind of stuff.
That's all fair in love and war, isn't it?
The fact that he got it delivered to work, I think, is gross misconduct. Maybe, I don't know.
With the emphasis on gross, I imagine. Is it not just like? Is it not just the case that it's an honest mistake and you should be absolutely fine?
You have to take it up with him.
Yeah,
I'm not
I mean,
sure. I'm not
was
sure
he a young? Was I imagine he wasn't that valuable to the company if they could just sort of chin off somebody because.
I can believe that.
Like that. Yeah.
I can totally believe that. 100%. Yeah.
Oh, I feel really sorry for him.
I've not been that impressed by him.
I've sent stuff like briefcases, like ominous briefcases, to friends' previous addresses by accident. And also a drill as well, like a bone saw drill kind of thing. That's not great.
What's the reason for that?
It was like I was impressed by the quality of this drill, and I said, "Look," and somebody sent me a present, so I sent them one back, and it was a drill. But I sent it to the wrong house, isn't it, the next door neighbour, and then the next door neighbour said that he hadn't seen it, which is a lie. But it's just quite funny that I'm just sending people just random briefcases and drills.
I once sent I think I've told you this before, but I once sent a near full-size snooker table to my friend's house.
Right, that's too big.
He was fucking raging. He was absolutely raging about it.
Was it foldable? Could you fold it up?
No, not really. It's one of my best practical jokes.
Feels like an expensive one.
Yeah, it cost me about £500.
That's too much money for a trip.
I got it second hand, but he's my oldest friend, so it's definitely worth it. And we had this little competition with me and my mates around Christmas time, and I said, look, I ran the competition. I said the winner can get a prize, and it'll be a good prize up to the value of like £500 or whatever. So everyone's really into it, and I basically engineered it so he would win. And then I worked out what day he was working from home, and I got it was basically like an 8-foot snooker table. He could barely get it through the door. And he said that the worst part about it was the guy who delivered it was like looking at him like he was some kind of simpleton. He's like, what are you doing? Your house is way too small for this. Like, where are you going to put it?
No, exactly.
And he's so polite, he obviously wouldn't say anything.
Fantastic.
And he actually had a go at setting it up, to be fair to him, and it was ridiculous. It basically filled his whole living room.
Did you have to do the cues up in the air, like pointing down?
Exactly that. And I think he ended up just giving it away. I think he ended up just giving it away.
You have to in these, yeah. I think there are two things in life that you can get, I think, very, very cheap indeed, because people just want to get rid of. People buy them, they don't have the room for it, and they find it very hard to get rid of, and it always ends down the tip. Pianos and snooker tables. There's the two things. They're
From
just too big.
From the 70s through to the 90s, I would say inclusive, it was quite the done thing if you are wealthy to have a snooker table in your house.
Right, was it? Okay, I see.
Yeah.
What's that saying? Like, I've got enough room for a snooker table.
I've got a big room. It's just got a snooker table in it. Yeah.
Right. Garage? Could you just stick one in the sort of garage with that?
I had a little mini one. I tell you what, I've told you. I think I might have told you this before as well. But I genuinely believe that if I'd stuck at it and really worked hard, I could have been a professional snooker player.
Right. Now, Lukey, have we played? I've played darts and beat you, not particularly handsomely, but steady on, because you're the man of the beers and the pub room game, and you give the big.
I'm not that good at darts, but I think if I practice enough, I'd be good at darts as well.
Sounds like Christmas time. Me and you need to have a little game of pool.
I mean,
I'm
pool.
not confident.
I've not played pool for like 6 months, but there's no way you get anywhere near me. The floor of my ability in pool, will be so much higher than yours. It'll be untrue.
Luke. I think you're forgetting Captain Chaos over here. I'll do things that are unexpected. I will not take enough time for my shot. I'll hit the ball too hard.
I won't be expecting that. Just to put it in perspective, and people listening who know anything about snooker will understand that this is actually pretty impressive. When I was about 17, with not that much practice, I hit a 48 break in snooker.
Right, I don't know what that is, but I'm sure
exactly. You don't.
Right,
listen, don't step.
But the little balls, they're just little balls, though, aren't they? It's like playing
massive.
It's like saying you've done a good pattern in a little desktop Zen garden. It's not big enough. It's not big enough.
There's a great reaction video series in filming people seeing the size of a snooker table for the first time.
Oh, okay, not sort of understanding how big a snooker table. Right, I could see it. Well, yeah, in a pool hall, you get loads of pool tables, and then you get 1 or 2 snooker tables, don't you? Because they're so big.
So I think a snooker table is roughly 3 times the size of a pool table.
That's huge, isn't it? That is big. Yeah. They're messing about. It's like Wembley.
Before we move on entirely, I'd love to hear from our listeners what they've had delivered to work before. That seems to be a pretty rich seam.
Well, it's easily done. I'm always sending things to the wrong address. I sent some pajamas for my mum to my house yesterday. It's like it's easily done. The default settings on the old Amazon and stuff. But yeah. Have I ever?
If you don't change it back, it can be difficult.
No, exactly. I think I might have. No, I don't think I've had anything Moody sent. Apart from the old mystery meat that we had sent a few times.
That wasn't you though. That was someone else sending.
No, someone else who did that. Yeah.
Anyway, I promise we're not going to talk about stand-up comedians all episode, but I just do want to address that.
Yeah, what is the Apollo
I've left
thing,
it out there, and I think people will feel shortchanged if I don't kind of follow up on it. If they're, of course, interested in any way, which they may not be. The person was telling me that the producers of the show now have gone from finding the most exciting up-and-coming people on the comedy circuit,
right,
to essentially being in the pocket of the big agencies. So
that's been going on for a while, hasn't it?
Apparently, this is new to me. So apparently what they've done is they've started to book people who say Avalon think what they want to break, so they just give them a chance. And it's really contributed to the declining quality of the show, which, to be honest, I thought was fucking dreadful anyway. So I don't know you
make that any worse, but it's Avalon are the big daddies, aren't they? They're like a weird sort of like Japanese sort of J-pop sort of agency that just eat everything.
Didn't we meet with them before we wanted to go out on the road for the first time with the Ramble?
No, we met with Avalon. No, it was Baby Cow we met with, wasn't it?
No, we met with them as well. We met with Avalon. I'm pretty sure they came into the office.
They, I think they're
before we ended up going with Mick Perrin. We definitely chat with Avalon.
Yeah, Avalon. I think their cut is they have a not so great reputation in the industry for how closed that shop is. I think, and how podcasts get done and stuff. But they're the biggest dog in town, and you can get on Live at the Apollo. Big dog. Oh.
So is comedy on the decline now? Because it used to be everywhere, didn't it?
Well, comedy's back, Elon Musk said, so that's absolutely fine. Yeah,
there's a brilliant Elon Musk thing this week. Did you see it? It was fucking brilliant.
Getting loads of money for promises, but isn't he going to ship like 1 million robots? It's like, why does he promise these things? He's not going to get that $1 trillion.
No, I wasn't talking about that. So there's this lady in the US who's like a very well celebrated novelist and playwright and poet, right? I think she's also a visiting professor at some university in the US. She's American. She's called Joyce Carol Oates. She's been finalist for the Pulitzer Prize and stuff like that. I think she teaches at Rutgers now. I was looking her up yesterday because of this thing.
Rutgers.
And obviously she's a very kind of notable cultural figure in the US. To be honest, totally honest, cards on the table, I don't really know any of her work. I've not read any of her stuff, but she's quite active on Twitter despite her advanced age. I think she's in her late 80s. But she's like a doyenne of of the literary scene in the US, right?
Okay, right.
And she wrote this quite long tweet, like eviscerating Musk, right?
Right.
Talking about how, I can't remember the exact words, but basically talking about how, isn't it notable that the language that Elon Musk uses and the way he lives his life shows no interest in proper culture whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
Like he never references any books that he likes other than the kind of the obvious kind of, I don't know, Ayn Rand or whatever. He never really talks about any kind of movies in any depth or any plays he's been to see. All the shit that you'd probably suspect about the fact that he's a fucking replicant, right? And it was so funny because you could really see with Musk, like, the stuff that really cuts to the core of him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He's not going to bite back at that.
So someone pointed out, right, that ever since because he replied saying, "Oh, this is nonsense. You have to, you don't know me," kind of thing, whatever. And then someone pointed out that actually, ever since she posted that a while ago, he's been really active, getting involved in replying to people tweeting about films.
Brilliant.
To try and show that he loves movies. So he's like doing like a couple of tweets on The Fifth Element. Oh, great movie. I love the style of this. The mise-en-scène. Like, really trying hard to show that he does actually love culture. It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic.
If you're a shareholder for any of his sort of companies, like, are you sort of going, I'm pulling my money? Like, he's in charge of this, and look at what he's doing.
That did happen for a while.
That did happen quite a lot, yeah.
But I think his point around the Tesla, I was kind of shocked by that, and I thought it was just totally obscene, so I kind of read about it. And his argument is that if I deliver the market value to Tesla of X amount, then as the person who's kind of driven it forward, I am entitled to 12% of it, which equals this amount, right? Which in principle, I suppose, does seem entirely reasonable given that he's the guy doing it. And if it doesn't meet that market valuation, I don't think he gets anything. So It's just the numbers are absolutely obscene, and obviously he is a complete fucking cunt. But I think like there's been a bit of a misunderstanding about what it actually looks like in real terms. I think.
No, I just think the actual projections of him shipping, bearing in mind, he's had like a sort of roadster Tesla that he's promised for I think nearly a decade that's never appeared. Pre-orders are still sort of hanging out there, and he wants to ship these bloody robots. I mean,
what's kind of interesting, the autonomous cars thing is interesting as well, right? Because that's been a thing that he's been synonymous with, and he's like chucked his lot in with for a long old time.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, in the meantime, like Waymo, which is like a subsidiary of Google, Alphabet or whatever, they've been using self-driving cars in places like San Francisco and LA for ages, and they're coming to London next year, right?
Yeah,
so they're way ahead of that anyway.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's kind of, is it semi-autonomous? I think people still need to have to watch them. I think there's still like
in London they will have to. But Charlie, our colleague at Stack, Charlie was saying that he was in, I think, LA with work a few months ago.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
And he took a self-driving car.
Yeah, it's mad. That was absolutely crazy. But I think there's still a network of people who still look after that kind of fleet in case something goes wrong, in case there's the car just thinks it can't move when it kind of stuff. Well, in
case it turns into a Transformer Autobot and starts fucking shooting people.
Starts kicking buildings over and stuff like that. That'd be awful. That would be awful.
Those robot videos you keep sharing with me of like humanoid robots like going wrong. I'm completely oblivious to this. I thought they were all like AI.
No, there's this particular model of wonky robot that does loads of stuff, but when it falls over, it really gets very herky-jerky. It gets really upset. Like, it really looks like it's losing its mind. It's like you've got the one that we've seen quite recently, a couple of weeks ago. I don't know who made it. Is it Swedish or something? A company that made this robot, and you basically pay, I think, 400 quid a month. And basically, somebody somewhere else at a data center runs the robot for you. So it's basically a remote control robot, which kind of makes a little bit more sense, I suppose.
What does it do, though?
It washes up. It loads the dishwasher.
No, it doesn't do that in real life. Not in people's houses.
It does all that in people's houses.
Not
particularly amazingly. Not particularly amazing. So it's basically controlled somewhere else by VR, and and people. It's basically just like a housekeeper that is wandering around your house, and I mean, it's very futuristic, but at the end of the day, it is just a remote control robot rather than an actual robot. Like
So
doing
someone else
making
has
its own
got to
decisions. So
basically
someone else,
control it.
yeah, and someone has access to your house effectively without actually having access to your house. It's
I love
very
the.
creepy.
I was looking at the Boston Dynamics because they're in the forefront of it all, aren't they? And I was looking at their company Wikipedia page, quite interesting, and like it says something like, Boston Dynamics was founded in 1992 with the ambition of bringing robotics to everyday life and make people's life, all that kind of shit you'd expect, make people's lives easier, improve our existence, blah blah blah. And then there's just a bit at the bottom that says, in May 2025, Boston Dynamics auditioned on season 20 of America's Got Talent, performing a dance routine with robotic dogs.
Oh, well, who's going to get the money? Who's going to get the licensing deal if they
It's just
if they
quite a
win?
decline in ambition.
It is, yeah, exactly, yeah. We're
It
just
just
going to
reminds me of
revolutionise
that.
everything.
Reminds me of that Jeffrey Lewis. You know Jeffrey Lewis?
I don't. Oh, Jeffrey Lewis out of Curb, no?
No, Jeffrey
Right,
Lewis is a anti-folk artist.
Right, okay.
He's got a song which talks about how at the start of the Rolling Stones' career, they couldn't get no satisfaction. And
Right.
It was just a series of demands. And then fast forward a few years or whatever, and it's just, you can't always get what you want, but maybe just get what you need. It's a big decline of ambition.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, let's take a short break, and we'll be back with, all kinds of stuff, I imagine. It's the Luke and Pete Show. I am Pete Donaldson, and I'm joined by Mr. Lukey Moore. And every Thursday we do things pertaining to batteries.
Do you want to go and get Battery Robot, and I'll
I'll go
give
get...
them
Oh,
the-
yeah, I forgot Battery Robot.
Hello, Battery Robot is here.
Hi,
I
Battery
wish you
Robot.
wouldn't- I wish you wouldn't have a go at my brethren. I
How are
thought they were
you?
very good on Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah, sorry, it was pretty insensitive to talk about Boston Dynamics and robots before you came in after the break. I've got a couple of questions for you, Battery Robot. The first one,
representing.
the first one is: have you got any gallium in your makeup?
No, gallium is like our kryptonite. It's not allowed
Right.
near us or our children.
Yeah, and so if you were to fall in love with another robot, but that robot was made of gallium, would it be a forbidden love that could never be public?
It would be like Romeo and Juliet, but with more gears.
And my second question for you, Battery Robot, is: have you had a nice week?
Yes,
Good.
I saw a film,
What was it?
Ex Machina.
Oh, nice. Not again. That's your favourite, isn't it?
No, Predator
Oh.
is my favourite film. You know nothing about Battery Robot. Get on with the
Sorry.
batteries.
Sorry about that. We've only got one battery this week, Battery Robot. Does that make you sad?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck, he
Are you
said.
back, Pete? Hi,
I'm
mate.
back, yeah, I said fuck, he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've only got one battery. Well, look,
Yeah.
hey, I don't mind a battery feature withering on the vine after 7 odd long years. I think that's a pretty good record. But
It's not
like we
bad.
said before, we had maybe it was kind of like a death rattle that we experienced a few weeks ago when we had 3 battery components in the show. But shall we get into the actual battery itself? Stephen,
Please.
no, Stefan. Fans got in touch. Hi, Luke and Pete. The recent drought of new submissions to your Thursday segment has coincided with the discovery that my better half neither shares nor understands the joy of discovering obscure battery names. Yesterday, I came home to a kitchen table covered with the various LED lights, remote controls, and a talking plush parrot named Helmet. In one corner lay a pile of AA batteries, all lesser-known products of the type typically encountered at discounters and budget variety shops. The Frau I have access to had removed these from battery packs and replaced each with better brands, in this instance, Varta. She explained to me that she wanted battery uniformity.
Battery uniformity.
With a
That's the
single
most German thing I've ever heard.
battery uniformity, with a single reputable brand powering each electrical item. Removing all inferior brands optimizes performance, she added as justification for this ruthless form of battery eugenics. The pile of rejects contains, all very unpleasant. The pile of rejects contained a pleasant-looking golden battery. I present to you the GAD cell in the hope that replacing the battery daddy or even a shout-out from Battery Robot can right the injustice of its inclusion for our local battery community. Thank you for keeping me entertained and informed since the first COVID lockdown of 2020. Gadsell! Gadsell, Luke.
Thanks, Stefan. A quite, in some places, quite hateful email. And also vaguely disturbing as well. The Gadsell battery, according to the photo as well, look at it, Peter, it just says Ein Führer on it.
Yes, Erzeuger, Einführer, and Hans Halleni.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hansalini, yeah. Anyway,
Hansalini,
I've got the absolutely outrageous news to report to you and to Battery Daddy, and Battery Daddy will be pleased by this.
Yeah.
It's a brand new player.
We live again to check out more batteries next week.
The battery robot's very happy.
Yeah, we have to. We get the Gad cell battery straight away, shove it down Battery Robot's gob, so we can live for another week. Pleasing.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Absolutely
to you,
cracking.
Steph, and thanks for the find. And sorry about your wife.
And eugenics.
You better hope she doesn't want uniformity when it comes to partners.
Would you not want uniformity when you're? Would that not be the correct thing to do?
But she might feel like there's not a uniformity in the relationship, and therefore he needs to be removed immediately.
Oh right, okay. It's not. Yeah. Oh, so importer. Einführer is importer, apparently.
Oh. That's interesting, because I thought Einführer would just be one leader.
Producer is Jürgen, and Einführer is importer, apparently. So there you go.
So if you put it as one word, it means importer, but if you separate it out, it means one leader, surely.
I cannot speculate. I am not a German speaker, unfortunately.
Me neither.
And
I am
my partner,
because I've got balls.
Because you got balls, have you? Right, okay.
Snooker balls.
Snooker balls. Well, that was the battery tiny snooker balls that are not, not generally accepted as being making you good at snooker. It's just the way it goes. Unfortunately,
that's a bit convoluted, mate.
Yeah, it's just I keep coughing. I keep on muting my mic to cough, and
Why?
I'm
What's wrong? Have you caught that variant?
What's the variant?
The COVID variant.
The COVID. Is there a COVID variant?
That gave me a cough for like 4.5 weeks. It was brutal.
I just can't. I got through my asthma trials and tribulations, and then phlegm has just arrived on my chest, and I just can't seem to. I did a interview for the first time in about 5 years, I think. I interviewed someone.
Me greatly.
I wasn't being interviewed like an interview for a job, but I was. I was interviewing somebody, and I was like, you know what? I've not done this for ages. I quite enjoy it. So
Who
there you go.
Interviewing?
A man who wrote a wrestling book. I'm just trying to lend a hand so Mark doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah. And how did that go? Was it good?
Yeah, he was nice. He's from Middlesbrough, up the road from me.
Did it take you back to your Isle of Wight Festival interview?
It did, yeah. It took me back to my chatting to Ella Eyre on the red carpet and calling her my lady, and then getting a bit confused.
getting sitting down on a nice sofa in a sunny Isle of Wight, interviewing some indie band for 5 minutes before going and get pissed for the day.
Interviewing the Stereophonics. Oh, lovely. And
weirdly enough, right, I saw Kelly Jones of Stereophonics, who I admire. I think the first two Stereophonics records are brilliant.
Hell of a voice.
Yeah, brilliant
voice.
Cannot
deny the voice.
Amazing kitchen sink songwriter. I guess I'm fairly derided in my view. And he was on the High Performance podcast.
Oh,
why is he doing that?
I think some people don't know what's cool. I mean, he was wearing a three-quarter leather jacket for most of his sort of 90s career, which, and for a man who is about 5'6", like, it's not a good look. Like, we have to. He doesn't pick his projects all that.
You can't wear a long coat if you're under 6 foot.
You just can't. You just can't wear a long coat.
You look like a predatory paedophile.
Yeah, everyone looks like a predatory paedophile, according to you.
I'm just saying that is at the very least, if you are under 6 foot and you're wearing a long coat, that is a flasher's Mac.
Yeah, but you got to go cut. You got to go short. You simply have to go short.
Speaking of that, by the way, I saw a sign on the tube. I was getting the Victoria line yesterday. The MVP of the tube line,
right?
Without question, it's the best tube line. But that's by the by. And there was a sign on the tube saying, "Exposing your genitals is a crime." It's like,
yeah, we knew that one.
Do we need reminders for that?
I think it's part of the general kind of like staring at people. I don't think I think staring at people is a crime. Yeah,
but like, there's a thing that's now which says staring aggressively or intently or closely at people for a long period of time is like unacceptable behaviour or something like that.
Right, not quite a crime.
I don't think people should be under the illusion it's not a crime to get your chopper out. No,
I mean it's kind of
on the tube.
Tube. Have you ever got your chopper out on a tube?
It's just mad. Like, what's more, who's that sign for? Because if you are going to do that, I don't think that sign's going to stop you.
No, he's kind of like, well, I'm just glad I'm being represented, to be honest, in the media. They've finally noticed me, for crying out
Very
loud.
odd.
But yeah, it is very odd.
What were we
It is
talking
very
about?
odd.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Get out of here. Yeah.
So we got
Great to get a new player, by the way.
horrific crimes to perpetrate. Yeah, well done on the new player, but well done that man's wife for making it happen, and her obsession with uniformity. We'll be back on Monday. Look after yourselves over the weekend.
Have a lovely
Take it
weekend.
easy. Have a
Enjoy.
lovely weekend, and we'll see you then. Hello@linkbshow.com
See ya.
if you want to get your batteries in. Ta-ta.